morning, Sophie. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Claire?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I appreciate you joining us to kick off our Tech Talk customer success stories. I'm very happy to have you here this Friday morning.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Maybe we'll start off with you just introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about Ottawa Logistics.
Yeah, of course. So Ottawa Logistics Fulfillment is located, of course, in Ottawa, Ontario, right on the border of Ontario and Quebec. So Ottawa is also the headquarters of Shopify, Canada Post, and Costco Canada. So we are a family-owned business. My grandfather originally owned the business in the 70s, where we focus more on warehousing and delivery. And then we rebranded in 2006 to Auto Logistics and completely switched to e-commerce fulfillment. So we have 250,000 square feet of
Wow.
safe, high ceiling warehouse space in Ottawa. And we also have a 3PL partner in Vancouver. We process 40,000 D2C orders weekly in Canada and about 10,000 to the US duty free under Section 321. We boast highly competitive shipping rates with regional and national carriers, and we manage small to large items, anything from health and beauty to larger furniture items like desks and gaming chairs.
Amazing. Yeah, it sounds like you guys have a lot of space. And I learned some new things. I didn't realize you guys were the headquarters for Shopify and Canada Post. That's amazing. And it must be so nice you can pass the family torch through your dad, your grandfather must be so happy to see you fulfilling that legacy. So
Absolutely.
in all that space you guys have, what specific products or services do you guys offer for your customers?
So 90% of our business is D2C e-commerce fulfillment. So we offer everything in terms of receiving fulfillment services and, of course, shipping out via our partnered carriers. We also offer B2B solutions, whether that be by carrier or by LTL. And we also offer kitting, bundles, and special projects for whatever our client needs for their e-commerce business. We also do zone skipping. We offer some zone skipping services. And of course, we offer to facilitate that Section 321 over the border from Canada to the US.
Amazing. As an avid end consumer, I'm sure my orders have ended up in your warehouse at some point. So it's great to see that you guys have your hands in a bunch of different pots to make sure that you can continue to get sticky with your customers and offer them a bunch of different solutions based off of their needs. Now, the whole purpose of our customer success stories is to really highlight you, Ottawa Logistics. And Sophie, can you share a recent success story that the Ottawa Logistics team has seen?
Yeah, absolutely. So one that we're very proud of is that we handled one of our health and beauty brands. This client sees over 3,000 orders in a day, but can sometimes peak up to 5,000 or even 10,000. They have over 1,400 SKUs and they see about 12 SKUs per order in their order. So this is a very complicated client. It's really important that we're able to manage these peaks and this high order volume really well. So it's so important that we are constantly picking efficiently with this client. And so we were able to implement cartonization, which essentially allows us to pre-print all of our shipping labels. So we'll open up at 6 a.m. and we'll pre-print all of our shipping labels. And this is because our system is able to predetermine the box size and weight right when we receive the order, just based off of what SKUs are ordered. Another part of the picking process that we were able to make efficient has been to use batch picking method. So essentially what that is all of our associates picking by bay. So we'll have one associate picking at bay 1, one at bay 2, and one at bay 3, and they essentially will pass the orders along down our bay of this client. So we kind of have like multiple people picking the same order all by bay. So this is much more efficient than one person going back and forth all the way up and down these large aisles. You can imagine how many steps that might save. And we still QC everything with this. We're still able to QC everything with a scanner. Everything is still totally scanned. We've been really proud of that process and are proud of how quickly we're able to manage this large volume.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think I heard 6 a.m. So I knew if I came into a warehouse 6 a.m., especially on a Monday morning, I would probably not be fully there. It's great to see that Auto Logistics has been able to, use some of this automation, such as the cartonization, to really help your team on the floor because, as you mentioned, you're handling large volume. You have to get orders out the door. And if you have a happy end consumer, you have a happy brand, and ultimately, they're getting 5 stars. They're not looking to leave you. We talked a little bit, about the cartonization. Are there any other key factors that help contribute to this success?
Well, I would say really it's our top-notch team handling each unique client with care. We're very happy with our team out at over the office and in our warehouse. And of course, having a great tech partner like Techdinamics helping us with that cartonization has been imperative. And also just like our great management. We're really proud of how we're able to pool and allocate our team members very efficiently. And we've really figured out how to manage those difficult peaks in that sense, being able to allocate our associates in the right spots and where we're we're seeing lots of orders here. We need more help here. We need less help here on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great that you guys are aware and you can acknowledge the great team that you have because, when people are recognized, they want to work hard. And I can attest, I've worked very closely with the Ottawa team, and you guys are lovely people to work with. You guys have such an impressive business model going, and it's been a pleasure. Sophie, I
Thank
know you
you.
and I are a little bit newer to the scene, but the relationship goes back, before you and I. And it's great for us to kind of come in and be able to continue that legacy and work together. So, Sophie, what are some of your company's most effective strategies to help streamline your operations today?
One important thing I think is we always try to take advantage of new technology and the technology that we have. It's really important to know the technology you have and be able to use it to its potential and use it efficiently. Another thing is it's really important to know your client well. We find it's really hard to find a one size fits all strategy. Every client's different products, they require different procedures. For example, we handle our larger items in a different way than we do our smaller items. So we will pre-print labels for our large items so we don't need to bring them to our packing station like we would a small item. It doesn't make sense to be bringing this like large item to the other side of the warehouse to pack it and then bring it to our outbound staging area. By pre-printing that label, since we already know the size and weight of these large items, we're able to just put the label on and bring that right to the outbound area. Further to that, like an order, we have a lot of like orders where we'll receive a large a furniture item, but also coming with some small accessories. So we're able to split that order so we can have people who are more equipped to handle like moving the larger items pick that large item, and then we'll have other associates pick that are in the other side of the warehouse picking that small item. And that order is split, and those items kind of go through two different processes that are more efficient for each SKU. And then they both ship out separately and will be received by the end customer.
Yeah, you made a couple of great points there, but the ones that really stood out was, staying ahead with your technology. The logistics industry is always drastically changing. You don't know what's going to, come through, what that next, big shake is going to be. So by being able to keep ahead and utilize that technology, but also being efficient in your warehouse, I like to get my steps in, but I think if I had to start pushing around some heavy desks in the warehouse, I mean, it would save me a trip to the gym, but probably wouldn't be the most effective.
Yeah.
So it's great that you guys were able to understand, how can we get this process up and effectively running for our customers, and being able to split those orders, not only to make it easier for our team on the floor, but also to make sure that the end customer is getting their product as quickly as possible. It sounds like, the Ottawa team is really thinking about their customers, which, I've seen you guys interact with them. I know you are. So how do you guys always continue to ensure that you have your customer satisfaction and retention?
Well, I really see it a lot where clients will tell us that they see the care that we put into their unique needs that they don't really sometimes may not see with other 3PLs. And we're lucky to have like a really great customer care team that's very responsive and they are able to keep a really open dialogue with our clients every day. So we try to be flexible and personable whenever we can. And, we tend to not lose clients. We have new long-term clients that we have really great relationships with, and we're very happy to be able to say that.
And that's the best way, honestly, to do business. As we talked about, I'm going back to me being the average and consumer. I really can tell, when an order was being packaged, if it had care or if someone just threw it in the box and hoped for the best. So again, going back to making sure that, the end consumer is happy, you're going to have a great team. And that's how you want to do business. You want to have those long-standing partner relationships. And it sounds like you guys are doing everything right from there. I want to do a little bit of a 180. We talked about the logistics industry always changing and you never quite know what's going to happen, that dynamics that happens. So for Ottawa Logistics, what are some of your company's biggest challenges that you see? And, how do you guys work as a team to overcome them?
Well, I think one of our biggest challenges was probably everyone's biggest challenge was keeping everyone safe over the pandemic, over COVID. That along with just building a great team. It's hard to build good company culture. So we've been able to build the culture where staff enjoy coming to work, people feel engaged, people feel safe and important. They know that the management team is approachable and will listen, and we'll do fun things. We celebrate birthdays and work anniversaries. We have get-togethers and we celebrate everyone's accomplishments. And so that's, I think, a challenge a lot of companies face. And we're really happy to have overcome that challenge. We continue overcoming that challenge every day. And we try to keep the family vibe alive and the family business.
Well, absolutely. It's going to family generations. And it sounds like you guys do a fantastic job on that. You made a good point with COVID. It shook everyone up. I mean, with the role I have, I was very quickly transitioned to being at home and working online, but not everyone had that. So it's impressive to see how quickly the Ottawa Logistics team was able to understand and adjust to the times that were changing to ensure that your team on the floor is being safe, they're being looked after, they feel comfortable, they feel confident coming into work, but also to celebrating those, those accomplishments, the birthdays, the work anniversaries. It just really helps to continue to build a strong team with your different workers. So we talked about, the successes, some of the challenges that you guys see to stay ahead. What role has automation ultimately played in the success of Ottawa Logistics?
Well, we used to be in the warehousing business, and now we feel like we're in the software business. It's a little joke we say a lot. Everything is about automation, and we used to pick and pack with paper, and we would manually check off before processing the label. Obviously that was inefficient, and that was prone to mistakes. It was just a bit of a mess. Only paperless pick, and we always use scanners. We scan the location and the item, and we scan at the pick and the pack, and we always have two different people, one person picking and one person packing. If you picked an order, you can't be the one to pack it, so there's lots of QC steps in which we're QCing an order. And it's faster and it's more accurate and it's so much more automated. And it's taken out the guesswork, and it's improved everything from our pick and pack to our receiving to our outbound.
I know when I wake up in the morning, especially as you earlier mentioned, 6 a.m. bright and early, looking at a paper, I think I would miss some things before I had my cup of coffee. So it's great to see that you guys were able to shift to doing everything online, but also, when you become paperless, it also helps the environment from that standpoint. So that's great to see from there. Now, we talked about Ottawa Logistics has a wide variety of knowledge, experience within the logistics industry. So what advice, Sophie, would you give to other businesses in your industry who are looking to improve their automation?
I would say prioritize technology and find the right tech partner that works best for you. I would look for advice on scanners, look into new WMS systems, rate shopping integrations, and paperless picking processes if you haven't looked into that already. And I would try to create good connections and share best practices with other 3PLs. We always are open. We try to keep open dialogues with other 3PLs. We always want to share best practices, and we love sharing information. And because a situation that we might be struggling with, maybe our partner in Vancouver or our partner in the US might have already come up with a great solution. So we always try to speak with other 3PLs and look into new technologies.
That's very tactical because, as you said, someone that issue that we're struggling with, another one of our partners might have the answer. So it's great to always build that community, especially in the logistics industry. I find that everyone is very close together. So it's great to be able to, bounce and brainstorm ideas, especially as we've been talking about. The logistics industry is never static. It's always going to be dynamic. So it's how do we work together? How do we utilize our different technologies, our partners, to ultimately stay ahead of the game? Now we're coming into the closing parts of our podcast here today, but, as we continue Q4, 2025 is fastly approaching us. How does Ottawa Logistics plan to continue leveraging technology and innovations in their business model?
I would say we're going to keep exploring new technology, keeping an eye on what's out there. We like to attend trade shows and conventions. I know I try to join a lot of conventions, a lot of tech conventions around WMS and new systems, and sharing best practices and speaking with our friends.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I've been starting to attend more shows, and I myself, I'm a visual learner. I like to see things in action. I like to pick people's brains, and it's amazing, the knowledge that you come back with and all of the new business practices or situations that you can help incorporate into your business to help continue to grow. Now, Sophie, is there anything else that you would like to share about your journey, with your partnership with the Techdinamics team, or any really other of the practices that you're doing?
Well, we have a wonderful and long relationship with Techdinamics, of course. So Techdinamics actually contacted us when they first started the company, which I think was like 8 or 10 years ago now. And we were printing paper pick tickets, and we didn't even have location labels, which is a little embarrassing to say now. Reg Adams saw a lot of potential in our company, and he's helped us develop new technologies and new systems within our company over the years. Technology has made training easier. It's made the learning curve easier for our new staff. And now we're a totally different company, and we can do much more volume, and we even have capacity for even more. We're still looking for new clients because we can just handle more now.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, Reg Adams is definitely the guru here when it comes to logistics industry. And I know that working with you guys, we've learned so much as well, and been able to continue and bounce ideas off of each other to grow our partnership to become stronger. Well, Sophie, that wraps up our podcast today. I really appreciate you joining me and kicking off our Tech Talk Customer Success series. It was a pleasure having you, and I definitely know that people will be able to benefit from the knowledge that you shared today. So thank you again for taking the time.
Great. Thank you so much, Claire.
Bye. Bye.